Okay, thanks, Natalia, for the recording, and welcome everybody. It's nice to see you here today on our meetup, and let me introduce our team today. And first, a word to Natalia.
Yeah, thank you very much. And maybe I can share also all our team. Even our team is bigger. But here are the maybe main participants, and my name is Natalia Gruchevskaya, and I work with OKRs more than 6 years, maybe about even more than 7, and help dozens of companies to implement OKRs. And I'm here today to share my vision, my experience together with my colleagues. And yeah, warm welcome.
And my name is Ekaterina. I'm one of the members of the OKR Academy team, and I'm an OKR coach and OKR expert, and I will be happy also today to share some of the theoretical issues with you. And today also with us is Maria, professional currently using the OKR system, and she will tell it yourself.
Yeah, hi everybody, I'm Maria. I'm in business like about 15 years in different manufacturing, logistics companies. And with my team, we've lived with OKR like a full year circle. And today I'm happy to share with you our experience and the essential things about OKRs and setting good objectives. Yeah.
Thanks, Maria. And on the screen also you can see Irina, who is one of the founders of the OKR Academy. And maybe she'll join us tonight, maybe not. But that's the members of the team who are very well acquainted with the OKRs. And just a few words about our today's agenda. First, we'll speak a little bit about the knowledge you already have in the OKRs. Maybe some of you do and some of you don't. We'll discuss the facts and the myths that generally exist about the OKRs. And we'll discuss a little bit the theory of the basic concepts, the principles, and the main elements of the system, just to have a common view about it. One of the very important things tonight is that Maria is going to share with you her real experience with the OKRs, and will tell you about the process of the OKR formulation in a real company, and we'll share some examples with you as well. And we'll discuss the importance of the regular meetings. That's the heart of the system, and we'll talk about all these 4 points within just 1 hour, maybe a little bit more. So let's begin. And first of all, we would like to find out how actually familiar are you with OKRs. Maybe some of you are already using the system. Maybe you have read about it somewhere in a book or some articles. And please just think on the scale from 1 to 10, how familiar are you personally with OKRs, and send your answer with a figure in our chat so that we know what is the average knowledge between us today. Oh, thank you, Julian. And yes, I see it's 4 and 4.5. Okay, so you definitely have heard about the system, which is good. Okay, anybody else would like to share? 7. Okay, Tracy, Sammy, thanks for answering. That's something. Okay, well, thank you for sharing. It's good to know that some of you have definitely heard about the system. And for those who have not, here's a good chance to get acquainted and find out. And would like to, you can answer some questions by voice or in the chat. It's okay as well. We'll read your messages and we'll answer as many questions as possible. And before we start telling you about the system, we'd like to play a little game with you. Also in the chat, you see there are 8 statements on the screen, Please take a minute or two to read them and write in the chat the numbers of the true statements about the OKRs. How do you feel about it now? And it's not a test for you to be evaluated, but just to have fun. So please take a second to read and then just write in the chat.
And we collect here the most common myth about OKRs. So, because now in the internet you can find a lot of different articles about OKRs, and some of them consist of some really well developed truths of OKR, but some of them also include some myths. And here is this just test to divide them. Yeah, first, yeah, I agree. And others? Is it any other truth or all of them are false?
Okay, I totally agree that the fifth one is correct. It's the true one, it's a fact, it's the best of all. And we'll talk about the why. Anyone in the company can see the company OKRs and the other teams. The third one, yes, thank you, Tracy. That's also true.
Yeah, thank you, Yana, yeah, for this clarification. Yes, 5 is true, 4 is not. Yeah, why? So further we will elaborate in details, yeah, all of these things, but it's good to know now that also some of the points that you marked as true, on fact, it's some myth about the cars. Yeah, exactly. 8 is not a truth because key results are not the tasks. And Masha Maria can share with you today this difference, huge difference between tasks and key results. And it's really connected with the mindset. And it's important. Yes. Tricky. Yeah, it's tricky. Yeah.
Yes, but you have found all the true ones. That's correct. 1, 3, 5, and 7. So all the correct ones, all the facts are here noted. How about the second one, about the moonshots? Well, OKRs is not about reaching the unreachables. It's aiming at unreachable, which seems to be unreachable at the moment. But these are the stretching goals. Yes, it's not about trying to jump over the moon, because if you really aim at something totally unreachable, it's going to be demotivating. But it has to be over the head, that's for sure.
Yeah. For example, if you now set up a goal to open your shop on a Mars, it's unreachable, now, on this century maybe, and it doesn't make sense. But it's definitely about setting up stretching goals, but not some, pink unicorns that really unreachable. Yeah. Okay, we can go.
Yes, I think we can
elaborate.
move on to discussing the basic concepts. And it's actually everything most important is here on this one page, on one slide, because OKR is a system aid aimed at the implementation of the strategy. And you have absolutely correctly noted it in the previous slide, the previous statements, the first one. So on this page, you can see that this system has to be an agile system, and it's the strategy execution system. So on the left side, you can see what is agile about the system. It moves in iterations, and it allows any company or any organization to be flexible, because you move in short steps or a little bit bigger steps, but at each step you monitor your progress, and we'll talk about the regular meetings a little bit later. But these iterations really allow you to change your tactics and to be very flexible at every step of the way. And you focus on change, not on the routine day-to-day business, but on aiming at a big goal, at a stretching goal. You have to focus on those objectives and keep allow you to move towards this big stretching goal in the future. One of the statements was about OKRs being transparent to all the teams and all the people in the company. And this what allows the system to be aligned. That's why it's also flexible and agile, because one of the important concepts of the OKR is alignment, and it's vertical alignment between all the teams and all the levels of management, and also horizontal alignment between different teams. And I'm sure Maria will also mention it today when speaking about her real experience, but it's very important for the teams to be aligned and to move all together towards those big goals, knowing what the other members are doing, which increases the effort, and knowing how the goals, the objectives and key results of every team are aligned with the big goal, which is set on the top level. It might be the top level OKRs, or it might be strategic goals, which are set for a year or even for a bigger period. But the OKRs have to be aligned to the big goals as well. So these three big parts of the concept are essentially important in order for the system to really be agile and aimed at strategy. On the middle picture, you see the three-dimensional goals. The goals that can be described from different dimensions. So you just you don't know just what figures you move, but you also understand why and what for you're moving there. So these are strategic goals, and okay, it's not moonshots, not pink unicorns like Natalia said, but these are goals that are inspirational and aspirational and a little bit over the head. So when we achieve 100% of the goals set, it means that you didn't set your goals high enough, that the goals were easily reachable. When we speak about the OKRs, if we reach 80% of the set key results, it's a great result, which means that you are setting the goals aspirational enough. And then on the right side of the screen, you actually see the details and the heart of the system. You see how the strategy is on top, and the OKRs are usually set for the quarter. And here we speak about different types of meetings, which we will discuss in detail a little bit later. But at the end of each period, usually a quarter, you have a retrospective session, which is important to look behind what objectives and key results have been reached, and what was very successful, where you see the obstacles, and what do you have to change for the next period. And then after the retrospective, you move to the planning session. But in between, and some of you have mentioned in the chat that it's true that the meetings, the check-in or progress meetings have to be held on a regular basis, best of all on a weekly basis. Sometimes companies do it once in 2 weeks, maybe sometimes even once a month, but we say as experts that it's best of all to do it on a weekly basis. This allows you to really monitor the progress and to be agile and flexible. And not to forget, the last but not least are Fridays. on which you celebrate success. I don't know if Marie is going to mention it today, but these meetings are important to keep the team members motivated and to really mention sometimes when your progress is not that fast, it's important to monitor the small successful points in order to keep the team motivated and to really note that you're moving in the right direction. And there are three very important roles in the system: OKR owner, OKR master or coach, and the OKR practitioners. They all play different parts in setting up the system and keeping it going. Maria here is one of the OKRs masters or coaches who is responsible for this part in her company. And it's a very important role that a person plays in order for the system to be successful. Natalia and myself as OKR practitioners can help companies set the system and train the companies when they just make their first steps on the way in the system. So this is in short and very fast about the basic and most important concepts of the OKR system. If you have any questions, please write them in the chat. And if I talk too fast, also let me know.
Yeah, and we will elaborate the most of those elements further in our meetup, our webinar. And also as well, we are planning to set up some series of meetups, next meetups. For example, in October, we are planning to organize a special meetup how to provide planning session, and next meetup maybe about retrospective sessions. And so we can elaborate any of these topics, and you can also influence on this if you put on the chat your preferences, your personal particular interest, so we can take it. How can you describe more the role of OKR master, OKR coach? Thank you very much, Tracy, for this question, because it's really a crucial role, and I will describe a little bit more, maybe 5 minutes further. And here we are. We with Ekaterina, we are external OKR coaches, and Masha is internal OKR coach. So yeah, it's very, very interesting, important question. We will see. And yeah, just allow me to continue to make all of this system more, give you a more wide perspective of the system. That sometimes we hear that all OKR is about how to setting up goals, but it's not a truth, because OKR is not just a way of setting goals. It's a system of strategy execution. And thank you very much. Thank you. Who it was? It was Tracy and Julian. Yeah, yes, that you point that the first sentence was a truth. Yes, it's a system of strategy execution. Yeah, insights about how to write good OKRs. Exactly, we have this example today, and we have even a small game for you. Yeah, to choose better OKRs. Yeah, great. So I am really happy that we align on our of your questions and our material today. So if we return to the OKR as a strategy execution system, so it's very important because of this, OKR allow you to reach your strategic goals. Because if you have some ambitious strategic goals, a vision of where you would like to develop your company, your team, then I assume that now you don't have 100% clear understanding on specific steps how to achieve it, because the world around is very unpredictable now, covered metaphorically by a fog of uncertainty. We don't know what political, economic, technological conditions will be in the near future, even in the near 6 months, maybe next year. And if previously the strategic goals were called 10, 15 years in the future, now a lot of companies called annual goals as strategic goals. Please text in a chat in your company in which period you set up a strategy goals. I'm really curious about this, yeah, because of course it depends on a level of turbulence in the specific area of the business, but yeah, it's some tendency. And there are a simple test. If you can confidently build a diagram chart, Gantt chart on the achievement of strategic goals, then you don't need OKRs. But if the path to the strategy is covered by fog, then OKR is the right tool. So OKR is a short run from the start to the edge of the clarity. And this edge of the clarity defined for which period you will set up your OKRs. And also important, Katya said this recently, that OKR is about focusing on change. And what it means, that every successful business has two directions. Business as usual, which give it stability, predictability, something that managed by regular management, but KPIs. And I think if you have some mature business, you have KPIs in your legacy. And the second direction is the changes that bring us closer to the realization of a strategy. You couldn't reach your strategy if you just run your business as usual, because now the strategy is always changing. Sometimes it's unbelievable even. And we think that, oh, it's unreachable, but yeah, we can reach it because of OKRs. And since this way to the strategy is an area of high uncertainty, the traditional management is not effective here. And OKRs appeared precisely to manage change in the mode of strategic experiments. So OKR is needed to manage strategic changes, not to control business as usual. And as I said, that OKR is a short run from the start of the age of clarity to, and the company define what is the age of clarity. The most companies choose a quarter, 3 months. Some companies choose 4 months. Some companies choose 1 month. It depends on your situation now and on some specific of your business. And this is what the strategy execution cycle looks like. There are 3 levels: strategy level, execution level, and OKR just between them. Yeah. And OKR can also connect teams and focus on unified company goals. Then at the execution level teams, you can use different approaches. Some teams can use Kanban, some teams can use Scrum, and so on. But at the goal level, they move in a coordinated way in a common direction. Yeah, it's a very, very big benefit from OKR system. So, and company level OKRs established not by the CEO, but by the group of from 5 to 20 members of the leadership team, and sometimes some key employees even from the team level. And then teams established by the team OKRs themselves and align vertically with a strategic goal and with the company level OKRs, and horizontally with other teams. So it's also we elaborated that Katya said before in one picture. And it's very important then each goal, each OKR have an owner, or some companies named it OKR driver. So it's some person who is responsible for reaching those OKRs or for driving the progress towards those OKRs. And here is on the slide some responsibility of the OKR owner. And if there are any OKR owners presented in our webinar, please also, yeah, maybe take a move or put your plus in a chat that we can invite you. And yeah, as I promised, the answer to Julian, to Tracy's question about OKR master, OKR coach. So it's very important to understand that OKR is a continuous discipline. It's like fitness. So if you just set up goals and forgot about them, nothing happened. Yeah, OKR doesn't work about on this way. You need some person who facilitates the process, who runs the process, who set up the system correctly and provides a regular rhythm to all the procedures. And we name those person as OKR coach on the company level, the same as Agile coach. And the same as on a team level, we have Scrum Master, for example. We use this OKR master name, but it's not the big difference. The little difference, some subtle difference we made, that OKR coach help leadership team and all the companies to set up all the system and help to align goals together. And sometimes inside the team, we have some necessary, we need some person who can facilitate the process inside the team, not between the teams, but inside the team, who can facilitate some meetings, discussions, planning session inside the team. And only for make this difference, we use this name OKR master, but the competences are the same. If I answer to your question, Tracy, so OKR master, OKR coach is the person who owns the process and facilitate all of the meetings, and there are a lot of responsibilities. Okay, thank you for your feedback. And as I said, we with Katya, we are external OKR coaches, even more OKR trainers or OKR experts. We came to company to help them to set up the system in initial stage, and implement the system inside the company, start to implement. Or sometimes we make some audit of the existing system and help to improve it. But without internal OKR coach, we can do nothing. And internal OKR coach is a crucial role to successful OKR implementation. And I am really glad to introduce you a real internal OKR coach, Maria, Masha, and your microphone is yours now, please.
Okay, thank you, Natalia. Thank you, Ekaterina. Thank you, everybody, for having me here today. And I hope that at the end of the working day, everybody's battery is full enough to focus on change of mind things. So let's forward to formulating of effective objectives and key results, which is definitely the essential for driving focus, for alignment between teams, between management, between strategy, and essential for achievement within organizational team. And here I would like to share you with some, I would say, like not guidelines, but like a piece of experience. And also this is the best theory for creating impactful OKRs. So I would say that when we start to formulate OKRs, definitely we should answer to questions. So what do we want to do? And the major question definitely is, why do we want to do this? Usually we have, I would share the experience of our company, just by the way. In our company, we have on the company's level from 2 to 3 objectives, and on department levels as well, like 2 to 3 objectives. And when we follow to key results, here the question which is to be answered is, how will we know that we achieved the OKRs? So our key results, they should be measurable outcomes that indicate the progress towards OKR, towards objective. So they should be specific, measurable, time-bound, answering the question, as I said, how will we know that we achieved the objective? And what I would like to add also, that key results should be in team's control zone. So this is about unicorns again. So we should check our key results by this I would say 5 major points to have high quality key results. And I would say that in our company, it's better, we have like from 1 to 3 key results to every objective. And this is also essential part, that we don't have like them like 10 or like even 4 already. It's too much. This is from our business life. So here is I would say a live example. This is from our planning session, online planning session, and this is 2 main objectives on the level of sales and marketing and business development department. And for your information, I would like to share that we are construction materials manufacturing company. We are not IT, not information, like some informational business. No, we are just like factory, and we are following our production strategic goals. So first, business development OKR sounds like to be the most available at the market. And of course, we should understand, everybody, that each company has its own business context. And for the team, for the whole levels of management, of course, it's completely understandable what does it mean to be the most available. And it sounds like out of comfort zone, because the word the most, because we should be the first. But at the same time, we understand with our key results, how can we measure? So key results sound like, first one, 100% of marketing materials are ready. And the second one, customers' platform is operating well in 4 languages. So the team, and it may be cross-functional team, so it doesn't mean that business development department will be the only one who is responsible for this. They will have a chance and right and power to attract another employees for this if they need. So, and achieving this key result, they agreed that when we achieve 100% of marketing materials ready, and when we achieve that our custom platform is operating well in 4 languages, so we will be able to say that that we are the most available at the market. Again, this is the objective for 1 quarter. So our period is 3 months. And another one was to be number 1 in revenue at the market. So the first key result sounds like to reach the number, the exact number of in net sales. The second one, to increase clients' portfolio, but by 20%. And the third one is to generate 500 leads. So here you can see that every key result is very measurable. Of course, it's very specific. Of course, it's very time bounded, because we're talking about 90 days to reach it, right? So we have numbers to achieve. And when we achieve all these key results, so we agreed in the team, in the company, that we will be able to say that we are number 1 in revenue market. Maybe today, maybe next meetups, we will talk about the progress percentage. I mean, how many, that is not, how to say, not every key result and objective should be reached by like 100%. Yeah, so we will, this is very stretching goal, and maybe even if 80% is achieved, this is also success. So again, this is communication, the team and the company, and this is how we agreed for ourselves. So this is the way we live next period of time. Okay, can we have the next one? Yeah, so here are more tips, a little bit more tips regarding strong objectives. So that would be great if the objective is, as it says here, sticky. It means that it can be some saying known by everybody in the team. It should be very understandable, even at the company's level. Some objectives should be understandable by, for example, laboratory or for production department or for marketing department. So everybody should be on the same page. And this is also a kind of synchronization for everybody in the company regarding the objectives and mission and vision of the company. Can we go further? Yeah, so again, what about key formulation principles for key results? Just to know, maybe I'm repeating myself, but it's essential to know it by heart. When you are in a planning session or during your progress meetings or whatever, you should check all the time to have these cheat notes. Check yourself. Is your key results are quantitative? Are they aspirational? So do they motivate you and your team? And are they specific? And how you are going to measure progress? So this is very important. You should understand from the first day how, if this logic, for instance, okay, you should. I will show you later a little bit. If there's like numbers, I would say for instance, the production rate, so you can measure it every week, so that's fine. But the metrics should be here. Why? As soon as you have the key result formulated. Okay, we can go further. This is again checklist or cheat note, which I have, which I call it for myself. And when we have planning meetings, everybody has it and everybody can check it every time. Can we go further, please? Yeah, this is again the example from the recent planning session for the third quarter. And I took the objective and key results from our sales and marketing department. So here we can distinguish also the tasks and the key results. So if we take first key result for objective to be the most available at the market, which sounds like 100% of marketing materials is ready. So here you can see that there is a list of tasks which should be done. So here you can see the difference between tasks and key results. So if you look at the second example, which key results sounds like customers' platforms operating well in 4 languages. Again, this is the list of tasks, what to do, to translate, to adapt, to add pictures, to fix, and yeah. And OKRs, they should, the results, they should focus on desired outcomes. And please, this is the very common mistakes for teams and for the company levels meetings, for mixing OKRs and tasks, please. So objectives and key results, they should be, the limit of them should be very limited, the number of them should be very limited, and this is essential for maintaining focus. And also we should understand that the review of the progress should be done frequently to update OKRs if needed. And I can tell from our own experience, if the situation, for example, the next month, if it changes, so we have the right, and we again agreed internally that we have the right to change our logics or metrics. For instance, if the equipment is not operating or the another equipment started to run, so we can change the metrics and we can change the result to the metrics of the results which we are trying to achieve. And so, okay, we go further, and now I would like to say a couple of words about distinguishing between key results and tasks, because this is crucial. And both key results and tasks, they play completely different roles in achieving objectives, and understanding their differences is very important for us. So there are three major points which I also communicate to my teams. The first one, key results should be challenging, but we say they're not unicorns. And tasks, they are focused on actions that need to be taken to achieve these outcomes, these challenging key results. So we can say that key results, this is the results when the tasks are done. The second one, key results, they focus on the desired objective, while task is like focus on the result. So this is a special ladder. So objective, key result, and tasks. And the third one, of course, there are more. We can talk till the morning, of course, about that, but there are three major points. And the third one is generally that, again, it's very easy. Again, there are like from 1 to 3 key results, but when we're talking about tasks, there can be a list of 10 and even 20. So in our experience, we had even such situation when we had so many tasks, and it was it was approved, it was needed for business purposes, of course, that we took our key results and objective to the next period of time, to the next quarter. And so we were continuing to work on this, on the specific key result, for instance. Okay, I would like to ask you now, again, maybe to play with you a little bit. This is the real objective from our production department, which sounds like to have the most effective production in the market. And I would like to ask you, please put your opinion in the chat.
We have one opinion from Jenna now, and
yeah,
Tracy is agree, and maybe, yeah.
Yeah, do you think that this is correct, that key results are formulated correctly? They sound like, okay, here we say that if we organize maintenance twice a week, if we check new hub every shift, and if we instruct each and every shift's leader, that we will have the most effective production. So what do you think? Let me check our chart.
We already have minuses, and it's great. I really pleasure that all of you discovered that. Okay, those were tasks. Mm-hmm.
Okay, the OKRs, the OKRs seem more like tasks. You're completely right. These are tasks. And the next one, please, I will show you what was the final version. So these key results, they were put in progress table, which is the instrument for OKR discipline. We will talk later again. So these are really high quality key results for this objective, and they sound like to decrease downtime by 20%. So we can measure, we understand what is the impact of this result to our objective. The second one is to increase production rate by 10%, and the third one is to plan minimum progress batch like 20,000 square meters, which is quite understandable in the context of our business life. And the tasks, they lead to achievement of these key results. During planning sessions, we spent lots of time really for formulating, but this is the reason why in our everyday life, in weekly progress meetings, already we have very good progress discipline, and we can really say now that we understood OKRs and we live OKR, let's say, in OKR system, and it helps us a lot, really.
Yeah, and here is a magic question. So if you setting up OKRs with your team and there are a lot of tasks inside, it's okay. Just ask the team. So don't say the team, oh, it's a bad key result. Yeah, you are not so proficient in OKR. Yeah, just okay, great. What should be the result of those activities? Yeah, is those activities were successful? What will be the key result? And you immediately can find a lot of results and then choose 1 to 3 key of them. Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just asking many questions, and during negotiation, when people start to share their thoughts, so you can find the best results. Yeah.
Okay, and it was a question before from Julian. Yeah, if we answer this question, just give us some feedback. And as we have very short time, we have to go further. But if you're interested in those formulating good OKRs, we can dedicate the whole meetup only about this. Okay, yeah, we can continue, Maria.
Yeah, okay. If we're talking about the routine, the discipline, so we have 4 major, I would say, types of meetings. This is planning meeting in the beginning of the quarter, a progress meeting every week, Friday, like celebrations every week, and retrospective in the end, 1 time per 3 months in the end of the quarter. And here I would like to share with you the example of our online planning meeting. Can you please show the next slide, please? Yeah, this is how we go through all this thinking process, change mind process with our team. So what do? The first one, we are, again, communicating, informing newcomers, for instance, about ultimate goals and mission and strategy of the company. This is the big question, why we are all here. What are we doing here? Why we wake up every day and how to work. So this is the basic questions. So afterwards, we definitely should communicate to, usually it's done by our managers, communicate about changes in the market and political situation, whatever. And of course, everybody should understand what will be the impact of such changes. And afterwards, we are making brainstorming about priorities. So now we're not talking about objective, we're talking about priorities. So for which questions should be priority for the next period of time in our company. That was the planning session for company's level. Afterwards, we are voting for the most relevant. Then we go to, usually we have 3 priorities, more. It will be difficult to handle. And for each priority afterwards, we formulate, this is the wording. So we formulate the objective. Again, we're doing this in groups, usually 3 groups of people, like for 8-10 people in each group, and we come back and then we are voting for the best variant of the objective, how it sounds like. We can go further. After objectives are formulated, we choose, usually it's a very quick process. We choose the objective owner, just like pink stickers. And these people will be responsible for organizing and coordination of the work, especially regarding for this objective. This is about organizing other people, other teams for this objective implementation. And afterwards, we go to key results formulation. again, working with groups, getting back together, discussing the best variants, voting, choosing the best wordings, and all the process. We have in front of us this cheat note, which is like 3 circles and this big point, red point in the middle, and every objective and every key result should meet these 3 major requirements. So first, this should be really challenged for our company, for our team. This should be out of our comfort zone. So this is like growth and learning zone. The second one, this is sounds like impossible to skip. This is to avoid situations when during progress meetings, people say, you know, I was doing my job, I didn't have time for OKRs. So this is the good instrument to, you know, to avoid such situation. And the third one, just let me check. Yeah, and the third one, this is of course the alignment with the strategy. We talked a lot about this today. So this is the cheat note which we have, and this is brainstorming process. This is again mind-changing process, and again we lived a full year circle, and I can say that we are on the way to success, because there are some challenges for us, again, about discipline, about routine, and so on. But I can tell you that in our company, some employees from sales department, they started to make OKRs for them personally. They shared with me. So, you know, we understood the system and we're living our personal life already with OKRs, and it's completely it's just wonderful. It sounds for me like a miracle that people started to live with OKRs in their personal lives. So I wish you to have the same vibe in your company with OKRs. So thank you for your attention.
Okay, and we have just some short time left to speak about the other types of the meetings that are part of the OKR system and that are part of the system. And here is the dashboard of the weekly check-in. Just in very few short words, as Natalia already said, we'll probably be holding some other meetups to discuss in more detail about the other types of the meetings. And so today is just a short explanation. The weekly check-ins are aimed at monitoring the progress, and we have very, I think, a very clear picture on the screen here, where you can see the progress that is made on each and every key result. And it's measured in actual figures, and it's also measured as progress in percentage. And we also use the coloring code in order for anybody to see on which key result and there is, okay, maybe not a problem, but hold where you need to focus your efforts and maybe change your tactics and change something in the way you approach this key result. And it's marked in red. Where everything is perfect and the progress is great, it's marked in green. So usually on the progress meetings, we do not discuss so much the green ones, but we focus on what has to be done in order to increase the progress on the red ones. The yellow zone is kind of a middle zone where you can still watch on the progress for the next meeting. Also, it's very important that we can measure the confidence level, and that's the task of the OKR owner. Sometimes the progress is not so great, but the OKR owner knows exactly what's going on, and he's absolutely sure and confident that in the next period or maybe by the next meeting, the progress will be better, that everything is going correctly, and then he can put a high mark on his confidence level, showing the other teams and the other team members that despite the real figures, everything is going in the right way. And the red ones show the key results where maybe some help is needed or some discussion is needed. So that's the monitor of the progress is the aim of the weekly check-ins. And I think we can move forward. Just to
And sorry, I think there is very interesting question from Jenna, if I am correct to pronouncing your name. Very interesting question, and it's just connected with this slide, yeah, because if you can see that key results are not that they are not tasks, they are result. Which result do you want? And OKR really shifts the mindset of employees from progress process oriented, which tasks I have to do, I have to discover what to do, to result oriented, which result I want to achieve. Yeah, Maria, please.
Yeah, I would like to share. I have something to say about this. Every time we settle our OKRs, we never know. We never know how many tasks we will have. What will be the tasks? This is the reason. OKRs. This is the system how to find a way. This is the several tasks. We say like steps, several steps to our results, to our desirable result. Because if we don't have result, we will never find steps, we will never make any steps. So yeah, sometimes we come to the end of the quarter with 60% of implementation of OKR execution, but many things has been done. But if we if we don't have OKRs, nothing would be done. So this is the sense of this.
Yes, and I also maybe would like to mention that if you see on the progress meeting that on some key results there is no progress or the progress is not enough, that's exactly the point when the team can discuss what should be done in order to change the situation. So if it's not changing, that's exactly, it's not to blame anybody for not achieving the result that is expected, but that's to discuss what can be done differently, maybe share some ideas, or maybe totally change the approach, or maybe with a brainstorm develop some new tasks in order to move forward. So that's the main thing. The weekly check-in is not for finding the persons to blame, but for finding the solutions where they are needed. And then maybe some new tasks arise every week or every once in a while.
And old tasks should be cancelled because they are not effective. They not lead to the desired results. And maybe you have to stop doing old tasks and start doing something else. It's very often, yeah. And also even OKRs, even key results not founded on a stone, not written on a stone. Yeah, if on your check-in meeting you see that, okay, the situation is changed and maybe you was not so precise in setting up those metrics, you can also correct them. It's also okay. But remember about alignment. Yeah, you have to make this vertical and especially horizontal alignment, because if you change some of your key result, maybe some other team connected with those key result also, yeah, have to correct. Thank you very much for this very interesting question and very
it was
and
very
thank you
good
for your
question.
feedback.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and oh, sorry, what's happened? Okay. Oh, it's
We were
Our time is over.
Yes, I think that's
no, I just I just yeah, type my point my mouse, and this is clickable spreadsheet that already opened in a way that you can copy those documents. Yeah, and you can use, so for all participants here, we can send the link to our spreadsheet that you can use it. Yeah.
okay.
I can just do it now. Just if you can see, I can do it just now. You can copy this document, and I just copy and paste in our chat exclusively for those who are presented now in our room. Okay, we can continue.
Okay, and one of the other important types of meetings is the retrospective workshop or retrospective session that is held at the end of the period. It doesn't matter if it's a quarter or 6 months or a month, it depends on the company. And just in a few words, on this session, you discuss the results of the period. And very important thing is the positive attitude. OKRs in general about being positive, because it's the only way to reach the great stretchy goals. And we start with gathering the data and discussing the results of the period. Did we reach the OKRs? If yes, okay, we acknowledge our success. If not, very important thing is to share the insights of the reason why we didn't reach those OKRs. Maybe they were set incorrectly. Maybe we need to find solutions, and that's a big part of the retrospective. What was going great during the period, where we had problems, what were the obstacles, and at the end of the session we decide what are we going to do next. We find our solutions and would make some conclusions, and we discuss some preliminary things for the planning session. And the last but not least, we have to be grateful for those who took part in all this process. And we have to conclude this process in order to be able to move on to planning. But as we already said, we'll probably be holding some other meetups to discuss the scenarios of different sessions in details, if it's going to be of interest to you and to other members of our group and the community. Because as of today, we're really running out of time, moving towards the end of our meetup.
Yeah, just can share some useful books. Yeah, and yeah, finish with presenting our team. And thank you very much for your participation. And now it's time to your questions. Thank you very much for those of you who already asked the questions. You can put in on the chat, or also as well, you can turn off your microphone and turn on your microphone and yeah, just ask your question by voice. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you, Berenger. It's a pleasure to meet you here. And if you don't have a question, we would like to also have your feedback here in our chat, and also as well in our Meetup group and LinkedIn group. Yeah, please, Jenna.
Hi, can you guys hear me? Oh, it looks like you can.
Yes.
Okay, so I have a question. So we have this funny challenge where we have certain initiatives that are, really well suited for OKR model, right? But we've got some other teams who it's kind of like, oh, deprecate this old system. It just has to be done, right? And unfortunately, they're being forced into the OKR model just to kind of have like consistency or standardization, right? I think at the beginning, you all mentioned that, there are cases where perhaps like using a Gantt, for example, will be a better way of measuring, completion and sharing success and stuff like that. So do you guys have any situations or any stories you could share around, operating on some teams that maybe don't fit into the OKR model and also are working with teams that do? Like maybe they have a shared OKR, but they're also focused on other project work.
Yeah, of course. I can share. In our situation, for instance, financial department, they refuse to participate in OKR routine. And in this case, you cannot just say you should do this. No, on management level, completely without any, I would say, conflicts, because yeah, again, OKRs is only about positive. It was decided, yeah, financial department, accounting department will be out of this, but they will be informed. And the link to all our progress meetings, all our celebrations, planning meetings, they are sent to everybody. So all this, let's say, OKR story is open for everybody. And I can share like a kind of small success story. There was a time for our, for instance, customer department, logistics department. They said some of the, middle level employees, they said, okay, we don't have many impact on your OKRs, so we don't have any OKRs devoted to ourselves. And they said, okay, we will not participate. We said, okay. So in planning session, the whole team was like 30 people, and OKR owners in the end were like 8. And I thought that, okay, only 8 persons will be participating in our daily weekly meetings. But in 2 weeks, after the quarter started, I saw in Teams like 28 people participating, and this number of people is still the same. So maybe they're not sharing any information, but they want to be updated, and they feel that OKR progress meetings are the place where they can take the essential situation of up-to-date information of the company's business life. So they're participating.
Interesting. So it's really like at the end of the day, more of like an overall like alignment tool, essentially, right? I guess that's kind of like where we're running into trouble. So if teams are not using the OKR model, for example, they're using some sort of other measurement, they're able to, for good reason, accurately report that, then it shouldn't be a problem to integrate that into with teams that are using OKRs, right? Because I don't think the all-or-one model was really helpful for us. And like you guys, our revenue team is also another team that's like, no, we don't want to use them. And we're like, okay, I'm on the tech side, by the way, for clarity.
Yeah, just patience and positive approach. And what can also help, just from personal experience, just everywhere, the communication, just open talk with people, trying to understand them. I know that sounds like everybody says that, but when you come to, for instance, a person, just one-to-one, just trying to understand the position, sometimes they change their minds when you are trying to explain in your, just personally. Sometimes it helps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and as Masha said, that some of the teams that mostly do run the business, like financial department, for example, they don't need OKRs, but they can support the change teams, the teams that really need OKR to manage this focus on uncertainty. So as we talk at the very beginning, so if you have a full clarity, you don't need OKR. You can just use your classical management system. Yeah, but if you have to provide some strategic changes, in this moment, you really need OKR. I have in my experience, so I worked with a dozen of clients, different companies with different level of success of implementation OKR, and it also depends on different things, and also as well how much changes do need this organization. And the OKR is most useful for those who need to change, because it's some change management system, first of all, yeah, some strategy execution system. And also about the teams, we recommend to roll out OKRs in some evolutionary way, not revolutionary. So start only with maybe first level, only with the leadership team, only with the company level OKR, and allow them to live with this OKR for 1 cycle or 2 cycles, just to understand how it works and get some results and show those results to other company. And those results sell the OKR system better than any expert, any trainer, and any book, if you have the real results. And then you can roll out for the second level, for example, for departments, but teams are on the tasks level, initiative level. So teams, in this evolutionary approach, teams can set up those initiatives to reach the department OKRs, not to set up their own OKRs. And then on the next step, teams also can set up their own OKRs, but some teams, as I said recently, were just responsible for support function. They can just still have only initiatives, not OKRs. Does it make sense for you, Jenna, and for other participants? Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for a very interesting question. Hey, do you have any other questions? Please welcome. Yeah, because we allocate hour and a half to our meetup, so now we have about 20 minutes to answering your questions.
Natasha, and I see in the chat that Yusuf has missed the first half of the presentation. Are we going to send out the recording?
The recording, yes.
Okay, so if anybody missed the first part, then you'll be able just to watch the video and maybe catch up if you missed something important for you.
Yeah, we will publish the recording in the comments on our Meetup group as well as our LinkedIn group. So I now can send the links for both of them. And you can join us on any platform. So here is our Meetup group. And just one moment, I can send you the link to our event, and you can also follow us on LinkedIn. Me, Katya, Masha, we will be really pleased to talk with you, and we really want to arrange our next meetup, and we will be happy if you share with us in chat or maybe by voice which topic would be the most interesting, because we are planning to provide our next meetup on the beginning or maybe on the end of October about planning system, and Masha wants to share the experience, and we with Katya can share some experience from other companies that we really have a lot of different examples. Maybe some other topics also you catch from our today's meetup and you want to elaborate more. OKR and SAFe. Yeah, it's interesting. We are not experts in a SAFe, but I definitely know that in SAFe, OKR is included inside the system. In SAFe 6.0, yeah, it's on a guide. If you read the SAFe guide, the latest one, the OKR is inside the SAFe system. So it's not OKR and SAFe, it's OKR inside the SAFe. But we are not experts in the SAFe, so we know about this, but we are not some trainers about this. And yeah, Berenger, thank you very much. Topic OKR and transformation. Yes, because OKR.
This is transformation itself.
Yes, it's a tool for transformation. Yeah, it's really a tool for strategic transformation. Yeah, thank you. We can maybe emphasize more those role of OKRs. Thank you very much. Okay. So if there are any questions, any comments, any thoughts. Oh, we are so fast and we can finish our meetup early. As we really, we allocated from 1 to 1.5 hour time. Yeah.
Thank you, Jenna. That's a good remark that you found this through the Agile 2 page on LinkedIn.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jenna. Yeah. Thank you that you share, from which channel you reached us. Yeah, because it's sometimes we are curious how people can find us. Thank you very much. Thank you for your participation.
Yeah, it was a
Thank
pleasure
you.
for me. It was my first experience in meetups, so thank you for your attention. It was a pleasure to share.
Thank you and have a good evening, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. We will send
Bye.
the recording in our groups.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.